here and we will call ourselves to order. So our first item of business here on our agenda is the minutes of our December meeting. Hopefully everybody had that opportunity to review those. Does anyone have any additions, corrections, updates to the December minutes? And if you don't have any such updates, you might make a motion that those minutes be approved as presented.
Motion to approve the December minutes.
Fantastic. Would someone like to second that motion?
I second the motion.
Great. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 All right. Any opposed or abstaining? I think we have done it. All right. Huzzah. Thank you for your help, everybody. We have public comment next on our agenda, and I don't believe, oh, we have folks from Erie joining us. That's awesome.
One moment to come up there.
Are you promoting them, Rachel?
I did, yes. They should be promoted now.
Great. All right. Well, we do want to welcome our guests from Erie County. Would you like to say hello?
Hi. I'm trying to get my computer to work. I apologize. I was having trouble with the video there, but my name is Kelly Ryan. I'm the executive director with the Erie County Human Relations Commission. So I thought I'd introduce myself and just kind of sit in and just familiarize myself with my neighbors here. So
That's fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about what the commission is like in Erie?
sure. We have been here since about 2000. Well, it started in 1997. We officially got off the ground in 2001. We have had periods of not being as active. Most recently was right before I onboarded, and I've been on board since about March of 2023.
Mhm.
So so I consider myself relatively new in the civil rights arena, although I've been working in parallel field for a long time. And we are a relatively small commission. We cover the entirety of Erie County, which is the fourth largest city in Pennsylvania. And then I just doubled in size and brought on a civil rights investigator. So we're busy. We're busy, but I figured I've been wanting to kind of join and was hopeful to just kind of sit back and listen a little bit. We have an enforcement commissioning board and an advisory board. So we have 20 board members total, 11 on one, 9 on the other. And yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us. And I think that like building these kinds of connections with other commissions is a great idea. So thanks for dropping by, and hopefully what you see is useful to you, like either as something you want to emulate or as a cautionary tale. We'll see which one. So.
I had the chance to meet Jim Hammond right before he left as well. I kind of called out and introduced myself, and I know that you've been transitioning as well. Ms. Shepard is currently the executive director, correct? Yes.
Yeah, Rachel is our new, she's new in the post of executive director, but like a long time staff member of the commission. Yeah, really excited to have Rachel, having some new avenues for the expertise that she's developed over the time that she's been there. And hopefully you two can be good resources for each other.
And Rachel, I don't know if you recall, we were on the call together. I think it was probably back in May, right before Jan was leaving. And I know that was probably such a busy moment for you as well. So
it was. I'm so glad to hear that you've got your investigator now, though, because I knew you were flying solo there for a bit.
I was, but sometimes you just roll up your sleeves and you do what you need to do. So
absolutely. Well, let me know if you ever want to, catch up and we can, you know, compare notes and see what we can do for each other.
Very good. Thank you, Rachel. I'll
All right.
mute myself, but
Super. Yeah.
for-
Well, thanks so much for bringing greetings. It's great to meet you and hear from you.
absolutely. Thanks.
All right. Well, let's move into the work of our committees. So we have reports on our agenda from 3 of our committees this afternoon. The first is the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee has not met since our last meeting, but Courtney did send around a round of updates regarding some of our budget pieces. The main budget thing that happened since our last meeting was, of course, that the city approved its 2024 budget. We had a really successful meeting with City Council. Rachel was able to present our ask and did an absolutely outstanding job. Was anyone else on the like listening in on the call to attend our budget hearing? It was, I mean, Rachel was awesome. She just like sat there, spouted off statistics, gave facts, was like super well spoken and amazing. I was like incredibly proud to be associated with her. Despite that effort, we did not get our budget ask in terms of everything was fully funded except for our ask for an additional staff person. So that's disappointing. It means that the work of community relations, which was what we had hoped that staff person might take on, really needs to be owned by all of us, that we as commissioners need to be doing our part to kind of fuel the public facing work of the commission, getting the commission out there into the public dialogue. And then we'll keep trying. This is not the last time that we're going to make that ask. There were several other financial pieces that Courtney recently summarized in an email to the Finance Committee. Courtney, do you want to speak to any of those? I'm just looking at that now.
Sorry, Liddy, we've got hands up from both Genevieve and Carlene, so I want to make sure.
Oh, okay. I think Carlene's hand might still be up for when you voted. Is that right? Okay, perfect. And Genevieve, hi, welcome.
Hi, yes. So I was just Happy New Year, everyone. I was wondering too, with the Civil Rights Department or protection for Zeke's department, did they have someone that we could work with to help elevate our name since we didn't get our person?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Liddy.
Sure. Yeah. So my understanding is I don't think that the Office of Equal Protection, which under the leadership of Zeke Redeker inside the mayor's office, which is enforcing sick leave provisions and some of the other like recent efforts that the city has put forward that don't fall like entirely into the civil rights category. I don't think they have a person who has that as their primary piece in their portfolio. Is that what you were going to say, Rachel?
So I think they've got their own, I don't know what their staffing structure actually looks like at the moment. But they are moving forward with enforcing the Paid Sick Leave Act and actually getting out kind of on the ground and enforcing that with businesses. So I know that they're going to be doing outreach of their own. So it might be the time now to start joining forces with them. And, you know, as we didn't get that outreach position for the 2024 budget, I intend to use every avenue that we have available to us. And that is one of them. So if anyone would want to, maybe we'll wait for our Community Relations Committee meeting. And then once we have our ducks in a row, I can take that over to Zeke and we can move that forward and see how we can help each other.
Sounds good.
Super. Yeah, that was a good point, Genevieve.
Got Wazi and Shanice both have hands raised.
All right, perfect. Let's go to Wazi and then Shanice. Is Wazi actually, is he?
Oh, I think sorry, I think he needs promoted. Apologies.
Okay, yeah. Shanice, let's hear from you in the meantime.
I was just gonna try to answer Genevieve's question. The way that they're tiered, or the way the department is, there's only 2 people in that department besides Zeke Redeker. That would be their compliance coordinator, but the way it's structured, they don't really deal with civil rights, kind of what Rachel was saying. They were dealing with paid sick leave and ban the box hopefully in the future. But for them, it has to be passed under city council because they're trying to do a different avenue. But there's no, other than the compliance coordinator, there would be no one for us to kind of reach out to try to get the outreach that we're thinking of because of how the office is structured and what the purpose is.
Thank you,
If that makes
Denise. I appreciate that insider information that you know.
Welcome.
Great. Yeah, so it sounds like they're running pretty bare bones too. So
Great. Courtney, was there anything else from the finance committee updates that you sent out that you think is the whole commission needs to hear this afternoon? I know you had been working on the contract with our new solicitor and some other items. Oh, you know what? Courtney might not actually have the ability to talk.
I did, but I didn't. Okay. I guess it had expired, so there you go. Courtney,
No,
apologies.
it didn't expire. I accidentally left.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
That's great.
Well,
I was wondering if you could
I'm
maybe
very
give a
click
report in
happy.
interpretive
I'm just-
dance or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
I accidentally leave things all the time. Okay, so the important things is we finalized our contract with Outwith Studio, and they're going to help us do our LGBTQIA plus housing discrimination research project. And so that's very exciting. We did hit a little bit of a problem with getting our solicitor contract through. Hopefully that's all fine. It was an EORC requirement that we did not realize we would be subject to. So, and we didn't quite get in for the December meeting. So hopefully in a few weeks, we'll be able to go forward with that.
Okay, great. Super. Thank you, Courtney, and thanks for keeping the finance committee apprised. I think probably the finance committee should have a goal of like actually convening at some point in the nearish future, just to kind of see each other's faces and make sure that we're all in this game.
It will be budget season before we know it.
Exactly. The personnel committee also has not met since our last meeting, and that is a nice break for the personnel committee, which did an intensive amount of work earlier in 2023. I know that Rachel has been hard at work on the deputy director search, and we'll say a little bit about that during her report. Other than that, there's nothing really from personnel. Community relations, as Rachel mentioned, has also not met since our December meeting. We would really like to get a meeting of community relations on the calendar. There's a lot of community facing work that we would like to think through, and that we can kind of do some brainstorming, some delegation as we look towards our community meeting in March, our housing summit in April, and other upcoming events and ideas. So if you are one of those people who's serving on community relations, please expect to see a doodle poll in your inbox ASAP, and please fill out that doodle poll so that we can actually have a community relations meeting. And with that, I will turn it over to Rachel for her report.
Which is refreshingly short today, because December was just so full of festivities and illness. So looking first at personnel and administration, we did receive 16 applications for deputy director. These were screened by HR and met the minimum requirements. So I am in the process of reviewing those, and will be setting up phone interviews as soon as I possibly can. Personnel committee, you have done quite enough, but if you want to be involved in this, or any commissioner, if you'd like to be involved in the search for the next deputy director, please let me know. I'm happy to include you whenever you're available to, participate in phone interviews, or maybe even the in-person interviews. So we've been having an issue with that, though, that some candidates are not accepting of the fact that they need to be residents of the city of Pittsburgh before they are employed by the city of Pittsburgh. So we are going to make it very clear in the email, scheduling even phone interviews, that if you must meet these criteria, like you have to, there's no negotiation, there's no commuting. You cannot, live in a bordering neighborhood and commute in. That's not how this works. So we'll make it very clear so that we're not wasting anyone's time, because that's the last thing that I want to do with this process. And then, also with personnel and administration, we already talked about it, community relations. I can send an email to connect everybody if you are. I think the majority of our commission is actually on the community relations committee, which is so nice. We do so much with that committee, so thank you. But yeah, looking forward to getting that kicked off for this year. Cases and enforcement. So this is as of Friday the 5th. We've got 62 open cases, 10 pending intakes, 8 post-pause cases that are pending the mandatory conciliation process, and 6 pending court cases, which is more than I have ever seen in my time at the commission. But it could speak to just the fact that we have some pretty stubborn parties. We're looking to have 11 determinations with compliance review this month. If you are a member of the compliance review section, please join us for that meeting today after the commission meeting. We will be meeting immediately after with that link that I sent to everybody. We're on track to meet our goals though. So after meeting with EEOC and seeing our first quarter reports and looking at our HUD monthly reports, we are on track to meet our goals. So thank you so much to the investigators for keeping us on track and really just getting through these cases in a timely manner.
Great.
Okay, education and outreach. We, just a reminder, I mentioned this last meeting, but we're going to be having a fair housing landlord training. This is open to any and all people who want to be involved, anyone who is a housing provider or landlord or is interested in becoming one. It's free. It's an in-person event. Will be held at the FHP's shared co-working space over in the east part of town. And there is a link to register for that so that we can make sure that we have enough space, have enough seating, all of that sort of thing. We're looking to use these on a more regular basis to cover settlement agreements where we have mandated training for the respondents, and just to make ourselves more available to the general public if they just need more information. We are continuing to plan for Fair Housing Month. We're meeting bi-weekly every other Monday at noon on Teams. So if, before or after the community relations discussion where we talk about that a little bit more, if you're interested, please let me know. We did have a meeting today, so the next one will be in the next 2 weeks. But we do discuss more of like the behind the scenes planning, the preparation for the actual panels and presentations, how to get people to the table, all of that sort of thing. So if that's your thing, please join us. We are continuing to send packets of commission resources to various locations across Pittsburgh. We're just trying to hit people, at where they're at, just mailing things out to their locations. This month, we had a particular focus on the Survivors of Domestic Violence City Code update. So we did do an infographic on that and sent that out to our community partners who may be seeing that sort of service population. And we're always building a list of places to reach out to. So if you can think of anywhere that would benefit from receiving any information from the commission, please let us know. We'll add them to the list and get them in the rotation for mailing so that we can make sure that they have what they need. Also mentioned last meeting, but just a reminder, we have our Jewish Family and Community Services Know Your Rights training for their career services and refugee services staff this month on the 18th. And we're looking to schedule a similar training with Rent Help PGH particularly for their housing resource navigators so that they know more of what to expect in the way of anti-discrimination laws and resources for folks who are experiencing that maybe post-mediation process. So that'll be really productive. We're looking to wait for a time from the Fair Housing Partnership Director for that so that we can kind of tag team that one. Courtney and I just met with a representative of WESA, WYEP. So we're looking to run radio ads maybe in April and June. Again, Fair Housing Month is in April, so we always tend to focus our advertising pretty heavily on housing that month. And in June, we just wanted to kick it out a couple of months, put it in the summer, maybe when, some of the younger folks are looking for jobs, maybe do more of an employment run during that time. So we're looking at some options now to be able to reach people on that level and find an advertising package that works for us. But the fact that we have our salaries coming explicitly from the city's budget now, we're going to use all of that case processing money that we receive to do what we can on the outreach end. So that's one of those things. And then my final note is just that I will be out of the office at the leadership conference from the 2nd through the 8th. So I will not be here for our next commission meeting. I am putting in an acting director appointment for our current acting deputy director, Rita Porterfield, so that she will be able to attend the meeting on my behalf and assist in any way that she can where I would normally be sitting in. I don't know yet if I'll have the capacity to attend the meeting, but if I can, I will. So if I could be there virtually, I'll be there for you all. But that is it for this month. Moving full steam ahead into January with all sorts of meetings, but it's looking good. So I'm really hopeful about the way the rest of this month is going to move along with our trainings and really just putting ourselves out there so that people know that the commission exists. So.
Super. Yeah, this kind of work that you're doing is so important, and it's excited to see it in progress. Does anyone have any questions for Rachel or comments about her report? All right, well, let's go to our old business. We have been working with the publicity group called Championship Chase to do some advertising and television spots during Black History Month. What do we know?
So we have our interview for Black History Month coming up. So I'm putting this out to commissioners. It is going to be either on the 16th or 17th of this month, January. I need someone to participate in that interview in addition to myself. Again, it's for Black History, but it's going to be held via Zoom. They're doing the interviews that way this time, so there won't be any need to go into a studio or anything like that. So please let me know if you have any availability on those days and you'd be interested in participating in the interview. It will be asking very basic questions. We can meet with Ty Miller of Championship Chase ahead of time to discuss exactly what we'll be going through and make sure that we're all on the same page. But it is, again, Black History Month, but we're also very focused on housing with this particular advertising run and the disparate impact that, the systemic and historical policies have on people here today in Pittsburgh. So that's mostly what we'll be looking at.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So 16th and 17th, you don't have particular times scheduled yet?
I don't recall if he gave us particular times, but I can find out. I just remember him saying it would have to be around that time in order to get the processing done to have it run during Black History Month. So that's why we're looking at that.
Yeah. Is it helpful to have African-American commissioners in that interview process? Does the race of the commissioners involved matter, do you think? What's your thought?
I think it would be more impactful if we have a person of color to stand in and to speak to this on behalf of the commission. But it's whoever's comfortable. If you have experience with the commission on our housing side or a particular housing passion or just a passion for supporting people of color in general, I just encourage those folks to come up and to be able to do this interview, because obviously I am not a person of color, but I am 100% willing to go on that camera and tell them what we're doing here to better support the people of Pittsburgh and how they can get involved.
Super. All right.
So may I ask me?
Absolutely, please.
Okay, so I am a woman of color, of course, but I don't know that I exactly. Can everyone hear me? Okay, because I'm not sure if I am equipped to exactly speak to what the commission does and how it works, because I am very, very new. So I am not I don't have an objection to helping out or pitching in that area. I just don't know if I would be of any assistance, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course. And if you feel comfortable to move forward to the interview process, I'm happy to work with you and to give you more information on the things that the commission has done, will be doing, so that you're better prepared and that you feel comfortable. But that's entirely up to you.
Okay, yeah, I'm certainly not opposed, and yeah, we can certainly, if I would be more than happy to meet that.
All right, sounds good then.
Super. That's great. All right, we have a few items under new business. The first is that this Thursday, we are having a meeting to plan our strategic planning process. So this is not a strategic planning meeting, but it is an opportunity for us to come together and kind of work on the timeline and process for our strategic planning. If you're new to the commission, just a brief reminder that we've been we entered into a contract with consultants called the Interchange Group to work on strategic planning for the commission. That process was slowed down a little bit in our leadership transition, and also as we were bringing on a whole bunch of awesome new commissioners. But now that we have a new executive director and a group of commissioners, we do need to move along with that process, since our contract with Interchange is not indefinite. Like we would like to get this done in the next 6 months. So anyone is welcome to attend Thursday's meeting. It'll be primarily just over Zoom. If you can hop on that Zoom call at 12:05 and lend your thoughts to our strategic planning process, that would be fantastic. And then you can expect after that meeting to hear more about what that actual process is going to look like. Anything you need to add to that, Rachel?
Just the Zoom link for the meeting is in the agenda here. So if you need that, it's just right here.
Okay,
You
awesome.
out and it's your calendar.
That's very high tech and awesome. Thank you. All right. The Pittsburgh Racial Justice Summit is coming up, and I have in my inbox Thea Young, who tried to join the meeting today and wasn't able to get in. Thea, we're thinking of you. I'm sorry for your technical issues, and we are excited for the upcoming Pittsburgh Racial Justice Summit. It is taking place next weekend. Is that right?
19th and 20th. So
The 19th and 20th. It's not next,
Yeah.
yes. It's
Yeah.
not next weekend, it's the weekend after. It's at Pittsburgh Theological Seminary. There are speakers, there's a whole lot of interested and engaged members of the community. It's an awesome place to meet folks, ask questions, do some networking, do a lot of learning. It's a great event, so make sure you get registered and plan to be there. And then our next item of new business is our March meeting. So in March, instead of having our regular meeting in this kind of Zoom or downtown conference room format, we are going to meet in person at the library, the Carnegie Library in Beachview. The purpose of this meeting is not just to do our regular commission business, but also to hear from members of the community. So we are inviting folks, both people who lead organizations that have some expertise in these fields, but also just members of the community who are affected by these issues, to come speak with us about these two pieces in particular, criminal history and the impact that criminal history has on housing and employment in particular, and language access. What kinds of challenges do people who speak English as a second language or don't speak English at all have in navigating the Pittsburgh community? So really encourage all of us to prioritize attending that March meeting in person at the Beachview Library. It's a great opportunity for us to get out there, do some of this work of community relations, and get ideas and insights, stories that we can then use to inform our work, especially as we look at Fair Housing Month in April. Anything else about the community meeting? Great. Cool. Does anybody have any questions or comments or thoughts about any of the business that we've discussed today, or anything else that needs to come to our attention? All right. Then I think we're good. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Fantastic. Would someone like to second that?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor of closing our meeting today, please say aye.
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 Hi.
All right. Wonderful. Look forward to seeing you in February. Just a reminder, although Rachel is skipping our February meeting for good cause, the rest of us should not. So please, let's make sure that we get together in February, so we can keep things going. Respond to the community relations doodle poll, and we're gonna make some good things happen between now and then. Thanks you all so much for your commitment to the commission.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank you, bye.
All right.
Guys.
Blessings, everybody.
Excuse me, Rachel. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I was wondering if we're going to have another meeting. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, our
I-
community, sorry, compliance review meeting starts now. I'm gonna jump out of here and jump into the next one. So I did send that link. Did you get that?
I'm going to double check my emails. Okay,
Okay. All right, thank you.
thank you. Yeah.